Tonight, we are diving into the really isolated hours, the night shift.
Right, when most people are asleep and everything just goes quiet.
Yeah, and certain jobs, hotel auditors, gas station clerks, security, they require you to be there alone.
Completely alone.
And we've got 4 accounts today, real experiences that show just how vulnerable that solitude makes people.
The routine, the quiet, it can actually be used against you.
We've gathered these really chilling stories. They detail threats, intrusion, obsession. It escalates quickly.
It really does.
So our mission really is to look at these experiences and see the patterns. How do predators exploit that darkness, that quiet? Okay, let's unpack this.
Well, it's fascinating because these scenarios, they kind of strip away the normal social buffers we have during the day.
Right.
When you're expecting silence, any little thing, any deviation feels amplified, it feels wrong.
Yeah.
And these stories, they aren't just, spooky campfire tales. They're lessons in recognizing when weird becomes dangerous, that specific tipping point.
Okay, so let's start with that idea of intrusion, physical intrusion. There's this story from Meredith, a hotel night auditor. Small place, 3 stories.
Okay.
Around 11 p.m., a guy walks in. Looks totally normal. Mid-40s, jeans, baseball cap, has a backpack.
Standard guest profile, sounds like.
Totally. She checks him in, swipes his card, gives him the key. Room 214,
Yeah.
all standard procedure.
So far, so good.
But here's the first, immediate red flag for Meredith. The stare. After she hands him the key, he just locks eyes with her.
How long?
She said maybe 3-4 seconds, which doesn't sound like much, but it felt like forever. Just blank, motionless staring.
Yeah.
Then he walks up towards the elevator.
Okay, unsettling. Definitely unsettling, but maybe just awkward.
Maybe. But then it gets weirder. Around midnight, he's back down in the lobby, sitting on the main couch.
Right, waiting for a ride, maybe.
That's what you'd think. But he's not on his phone, not reading. He's sitting completely still, staring at a blank TV screen. It wasn't even on.
Okay, that is weird. That crosses a line from awkward into genuinely strange behavior.
Right. Still, maybe he's just tired, eccentric. You could almost explain it away.
Almost.
But then comes the moment it all unravels for Meredith. Around 1 a.m., she's checking the system, the occupied list. Room 214 is listed as vacant. No payment record, no transaction confirmed. She tries calling the room just in case. No answer.
So the check-in was fake.
Completely. And here's the kicker. She checked the keycard log.
Let me guess, it was never used.
Never. No one ever swiped that key to enter room 214.
So he used a stolen card just to perform the act of checking in.
Exactly. It wasn't about needing a room. It was purely about getting inside the building, legitimately.
Sanctioned access, even. So he could just be there, watch her.
And the dedication to it. He faked being a guest for hours. Then around 2 a.m., he vanishes from the lounge.
Where did he go?
She catches him on camera. He's standing at the end of this dark hallway near the restrooms, just out of the main light.
Observing.
Then he goes into the stairwell, stays in there for a full 10 minutes, then comes back to the lobby. Why the stairwell?
Well, think about it. Stairwells often offer hidden vantage points. You can hear movement, maybe see through door cracks, and it lets you move between floors silently, unlike the elevator, ding.
He's mapping the place, learning her routine.
He's maintaining this illusion of being an inside presence, a guest, while actively trespassing and surveilling.
It gets so bad she finally calls 911. The camera showed him standing right outside a specific guest room on the first floor, just standing there.
And the police.
They came, found him, charged him with trespassing. But what gets me is the fraud, the effort. Just to be inside, watching her for hours.
It's the psychological commitment that's really striking here. The resources stolen card, hours of acting just to sit and observe quietly. He bypassed physical security through deception, not force.
The goal wasn't theft, it was access. Observation.
Precisely.
Okay, so if that hotel story is about faking legitimacy to get inside, this next one shifts things.
Yeah.
It becomes pure psychological warfare.
Oh, okay.
This involves another Meredith, actually. She's 24, working the night shift at a tiny rural gas station, really isolated. She encounters a man, calls himself Paul, around 1 a.m.
Rural gas station, middle of the night. That's already a vulnerable setting.
Definitely. And Paul violates her privacy immediately. First thing he says is, "You always work this late." Then he uses her name, Meredith.
Whoa. Was she wearing a name tag?
Nope, no name tag. So right away, huge boundary breach. How does he know her schedule and her name?
That's not just observation, that's research. That's targeted.
It gets worse. He points to her handwriting on a little whiteboard they used.
Oh, handwriting.
Yeah. He specifically notes how she dots her I's. Says she uses little slashes instead of circles.
Wow. That is incredibly specific. That's beyond just knowing where she is. That's noticing tiny personal habits, mundane details.
But why reveal that? Isn't that too much? Doesn't saying I noticed the tiny slashes on your eyes immediately give away that you're, like, obsessively watching?
That's precisely the point. It is the psychological weapon. He's telling her, I see things you don't even know are visible. I see you deeply.
He's trying to dismantle her sense of privacy.
Exactly. Make her question everything. And the boundary testing just ramps up. He starts asking these loaded, gendered questions.
Like what?
Things like, you ever get scared being a woman alone out here at night? And then he reveals he knows her routine.
Oh.
Tells her, I noticed you check the back room door lock around 2 a.m. almost every night.
He's literally using her safety checks against her. Weaponizing her solitude.
Perfectly put. And he tries to frame the subsign as just, paying attention. He claims he notices other things, too.
What kind of thing?
That her shoes look maybe a half size too big. Yeah. That her left eyelid twitches when she's tired.
Oh, my God.
He's trying to demonstrate ownership of the data set of her life. It's deeply controlling.
And then comes the proof, the climax. She finds something left on the counter.
What was it?
A Polaroid picture.
A photo of her.
Yeah. It showed her outside, refilling the windshield washer fluid bin, taken way, way too close.
Silly.
And the truly terrifying part, on the photo itself, someone had circled the little slash dot on the eye in the word windshield written on the bin, circled it in red ink.
Ugh. That's horrific. It's physical proof of everything he said. It validates his creepy observations.
Real.
And concrete. The police later found a notepad in his car. It documented her whole life schedule, things she bought, and pages filled with her name just scribbled over and over, tighter and righter.
Total psychological immersion. It's pure obsession.
Yeah, the surveillance became internal for him.
Okay, wow. So from one obsessive stalker, our third account suggests something maybe more coordinated.
Coordinated how?
Another young woman, gas station attendant again. But this time, she didn't see the initial threat herself. Her coworker, Max, and his friend Ben did, around 2:30 a.m.
Okay, so third-party witnesses, what did they see?
Max spots a car parked nearby, lights off, but the engine's running. The driver's just watching them in the lot.
Suspicious.
Max confronts the driver. The guy immediately says he's waiting for a DoorDash order.
Plausible excuse, I guess?
Except the attendant knew it was impossible. They hadn't had any DoorDash orders recently at all.
So, a lie. A quick cover story. What else did Max notice?
This is key. The car looked brand new. And it had no license plates.
No plates at all. That's not accidental. That's deliberate concealment, preparation.
Definitely. Max also said he saw a pile of blankets in the back seat. Big enough maybe to,
conceal someone or restrain someone. Yeah, that adds another layer of alarm.
And here's the coordination part.
Yeah.
As soon as Max confronts him and the first car speeds off,
yes,
a second car pulls in immediately. Identical. Look brand new, also no plates. It pauses for just a second, then follows the first car out.
Okay, two identical, new, plateless cars acting in tandem. That screams premeditation. It's not random.
It suggests planning. Backup. Maybe one runs interference.
It feels highly organized, like the fake check-in at the hotel. It's about presenting one image while being equipped for something else entirely. Masking intent.
And the threat didn't stop there. The next night, around 3 a.m., the same type of car comes back. Described as a Subaru. Again, no plates.
Did the attendant see it this time?
No. Customers reported it. They saw two men inside the car, arguing apparently, and pointing towards the store doors.
And where were they parked?
Crucially, in a spot hidden from the register. A blind spot from inside the store.
Which again highlights the isolation. She couldn't see the threat herself. She was completely reliant on warnings from others.
They deliberately put her in a position where she couldn't see them. She needed that outside help.
It shows how perpetrators can use the physical layout, the blind spots, against someone working alone. You're forced to depend on intervention.
Okay, that leads us to our final story. This one, for me, is about the ultimate violation. The loss of the safe space. It's Daniel's story. Night auditor, small rural motel. His routine was to work from the log back office, safer back there. He relied on the front desk bell to know if someone came in.
Makes sense. A layer of security.
So around 2 a.m., the bell starts ringing. Then again at 2:10, then 2:30.
Okay. Guests arriving late.
That's what he thinks. But each time he checks the camera feed, or quickly goes out front, nothing. Lobby's empty. Parking lot's empty.
Just ringing the bell for no reason. A prank.
Or maybe a distraction, because Daniel starts to get a bad feeling. He does a security check.
And finds what?
He finds the front door. Someone had used a big rock to prop it open, just cracked it enough so the lock wouldn't catch.
Oh, so they didn't need the buzzer to get in? They could just slip into the lobby.
Exactly. The bell wasn't to get in. The intruder was already inside. The bell was maybe to lure him out.
Okay, that changes everything. He knows someone is inside the building with him.
Yeah. So he makes a decision. He dims the lobby lights way down, goes back behind the front desk, and just waits. Heart pounding, totally silent.
Tense. What happens?
20 minutes pass. Just dead silence. Then the bell rings again.
From inside the lobby.
Yes. But Daniel sees it happen this time. He sees a hand. A pale hand, reaching up from under the front desk.
Wait, from under the desk he was standing behind.
Right in front of him. The hand reaches up and calmly presses the bell button.
No. The intruder was hiding literally feet away from him, beneath the counter.
The entire time. Hiding right under the desk Daniel thought was his safe barrier. The proximity is just horrifying.
Unbelievable violation of space. That safe zone wasn't safe at all.
He bolts, runs straight for the lockback office and slams the door.
I don't blame him. Did they see the person on camera later?
Yeah. The footage showed this hunched figure crawling out from under the desk, standing up, and then immediately going to the back office door and rattling the handle, trying to get in where Daniel had just escaped.
Wow. That demonstrates such patience, such predatory closeness, waiting right there, hidden.
It's the ultimate breach of sanctuary. So if we tie all four of these, truly terrifying accounts together, what are the main patterns emerging here? How are these night shift workers being targeted?
Well, I see three really clear, kind of repeatable strategies. The first, there's this systematic exploitation of the solitude and the routine itself.
Right. Knowing the lock check time, using the quiet lobby.
Exactly. Or faking legitimacy like the hotel check-in just to blend into the expected routine of the place. The predator uses the predictability as their roadmap.
Okay, what's the second pattern?
It's the careful testing of boundaries, the psychological escalation. It often starts small, doesn't it?
Yeah, like the prolonged stare.
Right.
Seems minor, but it's the first push.
Precisely. Then it moves to more invasive questions, showing knowledge of personal details. The handwriting, the eyelid twitch.
The Polaroid.
The Polaroid is physical proof.
Okay.
It's about establishing psychological dominance way before any physical threat might occur, undermining their sense of safety and reality.
And the third pattern.
Calculated disguise and preparedness. This isn't opportunistic stuff.
No.
We saw stolen cards to beat security, plateless cars, maybe dual vehicles for coordination, even simple tools like a rock to defeat a lock. It shows planning, meticulous invasion, not random crime.
So the takeaway for you listening.
Yeah.
The threat in these situations, it's often not like a sudden attack out of nowhere.
Rarely.
It's usually this subtle creep. It escalates. Uncomfortable observation turns into documented surveillance, which can then become immediate danger. And what these people eventually did right, I think, was listening to that initial gut feeling, that dread.
Trusting the instinct.
Yeah, and involving police or security, even when the threat felt kind of vague or hard to prove initially.
That's crucial. Don't dismiss that feeling.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. If surveillance is getting this detailed, knowing how you dot your I's, hiding under your desk for who knows how long, using coordinated cars, how much of your own routine, maybe even mundane habits, are you broadcasting without realizing it?
It's a sobering question. How observable are we, especially when we think we're alone?
Something to think about, definitely, especially if you work late or just find yourself alone in those quiet hours.
Indeed.
Well, thank you for joining us for this deep dive into these really unsettling accounts.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
We really encourage you to think about the patterns we discussed. We'll be back soon with another deep dive.